collaborate with, and I personally have worked with them a lot for like
Yeah.
a couple of years now. So personally, I do vouch for it. But it is a church, and it's full of people, and people hurt people, regardless of where you're at. And so there's obviously some sense of bravery that it's going to take to come into this space.
Exactly.
But I would really encourage folks to lean into that if they're able.
Me too. I
guess.
really hope that people will still go. I think it's going to be really beneficial for a lot of reasons. I mean, it's going to be nice to get help with like name changes, gender marker changes, all of those things, but also just to be amongst like-minded people that are going through the same thing and having similar experiences. I think there's so much value in that, and regardless of where that takes place.
Yeah.
And I know that it's going to be uncomfortable for a lot of people, but I really hope that you can push past that. And if you're uncomfortable, if you do go and you're uncomfortable for any reason, like you can pull me aside and talk to me about it, because I have a lot of experience with that kind of thing just in recovery.
Yeah.
You know, I would almost exclusively work with people in recovery that had religious trauma, because I would just be like, please don't leave. Like, don't leave because of this. Like, I can offer you other options. Yeah, and it's
you need
not
to recover.
about that.
Don't let this God shit or religious shit get in the way of what you need for yourself to be okay. And that's kind of what I would challenge in this particular situation. Don't let religion or the perception of religion or God or whatever keep you from getting what you need. And that might be being with community, getting help with your paperwork, whatever brings you there. That, you know, don't let that rob that from you, because at the end of the day, that they win.
Yeah, it's interesting now because we're so under fire that we're starting to see unlikely allies. And I think that's really cool.
Well, and you can look, like the Unitarian Church in particular has been involved with social justice movements, like I think probably since their inception, you know, and if you look at a lot of history, like even with Martin Luther King, and you look at a lot of the movements over the decades, church was involved. Often church was the oppressor, but it was also the liberator, or a channel for the liberation, right? And so I think part of that is just figuring out, because the church is powerful, is figuring out how can we tap into that power in order to really meet the times that we're in right now. You know?
I'm glad that you mentioned Martin Luther King Jr. because it's his birthday today, and he's one of my heroes. I love him so much. But you're absolutely right. I didn't really think about that.
I mean, Maya Angelou, you know, there's Frederick Douglass, you know, there's a lot of really great people who have spent time in churches and with church people, working toward the liberation of all people, you know, and I don't see why. And religion has been harmful to them as well, you know what I mean? Like, around, you know, there was religion was used to, like, say that slavery was okay, you know. Religion has been used to, you know, oppress gay people and trans people and, you know,
women.
Oh my
God, it's fucking terrible.
So, but I think it also has had I think because it's so hard, because it's like feeling like you're becoming friends with the oppressor.
Oh, totally.
Which is, it's not easy.
And I felt, I mean, when I met Sarah, I mean, she's really nice, lovely person, but when I initially met her, I was like, why are we meeting?
Why are we meeting with a pastor?
With a pastor, yeah, genuinely, because I was like, why? Like, why is she here? And I feel like in most instances, like, I would stand by that, but with her, I think it's different. And I think right now, just because things are shifting and things are changing so quickly, and we're so under attack, that we're going to be needing to accept help and support where we can get it. You know, when it's coming from someone who genuinely wants to help and they're being authentically kind.
And there's going to be times when, like, she's not actually even going to be there. Like, she's really just given us the space to take over and use as we see fit. So it's not about even, like, you know, it's not about them getting gold stars or, you know, whatever you get for doing good shit these days. But like, she's just like, oh yeah, I have a space. Like, I mean, they already did the paperwork party there, and a lot of people turned out, and it was great. And so